Every great company starts with a big, bold vision, right? But, and this is the big but, that journey from the idea to actual results, that's where things can get really messy. So, how do you make sure your vision doesn't just end up as another forgotten PowerPoint slide? Well, let's dive in and figure out how to bridge that exact gap.
I'm sure this sounds familiar. You've got this brilliant strategy. The boardroom is buzzing with excitement. But then, somewhere between that slick presentation and the day-to-day grind, the whole thing just kind of fizzles out. The clarity's gone, the momentum stalls. It's a classic problem, and honestly, it's incredibly frustrating for so many companies out there.
And here's the thing, the real kicker. It's almost never because the ambition was wrong or the idea wasn't good enough. Nope, the real failure point, it's in the translation. It's all about how you turn that brilliant idea into actual coordinated, measurable action on the ground. That's the part that trips everyone up. All right, so let's dig into that gap, the one between vision and reality. Why do so many great strategies just fail? Well, you'll find it almost always boils down to one simple thing, a lack of structure. And when you don't have that structure, well, this is what it looks like. Your grand group level strategy, it never really makes it down to the teams who are actually doing the work. Your tech investments start to drift with no clear line back to what really matters. Innovation? Oh, it's happening, but it's all over the place, totally fragmented. And for leaders, you completely lose visibility. You're left guessing what's actually working and what's just noise. This really just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's two different worlds. On one side, you've got total chaos, what we call initiative sprawl, where everyone's running in different directions, priorities are competing, and the benefits just never show up. But on the other side, that's the goal, right? A truly coherent system where every single thing you do is clearly aligned to create real, measurable value. Okay, so the big question is, how do you get from that chaos on the left to that clarity on the right? Well, the secret, the absolute key, is connecting the entire enterprise. We're talking about building a solid bridge from that super high-level vision all the way down to the nitty-gritty operational details. And this is exactly where something like the Modus transformation modeler steps in. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a central nervous system for your entire strategy. Just look at how all these pieces are connected here. It's built to link literally everything, from your top-level business model all the way down to individual transformation roadmaps. The goal? To get everyone, and I mean everyone, working from the exact same playbook. When you boil it all down, successful strategy is really about two critical things. First, you need breadth. That's the ability to see the whole enterprise, to understand how everything connects. But then you also need depth, and that's the power to actually drive action, to turn that big picture into real work on the ground. Okay, I know this might look a little complex at first glance, but it's such a powerful way to see how this all comes together. What this lets you do is map out the full width of your strategy. You can see it going from the group level to business units all the way to services. That gets everyone on the same page horizontally. But then it also gives you the depth, linking all of that high-level stuff directly to your operational teams and projects. It's that direct link from vision to execution that's so often missing. So to get that fully connected view, the model lets you look at your strategy through a bunch of different lenses. Think about it. This means you can ask all the tough questions before you start spending money and resources. Questions like, okay, how is this actually going to affect our customers? Or what about our people? Do they have the right skills for this? Is our data even set up to support this? Looking through these different lenses is how you spot those hidden problems and really understand the true impact of a decision across the whole company. All right, so once you've got that amazing connected view of everything, what's next? You build a plan. But hang on, we're not talking about just any old plan. We're talking about an intelligent, living roadmap that's actually built for the real world. And the process to get there is actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, you nail down your objectives. What are you trying to achieve? Step 2, you model your value chain. How does your business actually work? Then, step 3, you visualize the journey and the key changes you need to make. And all of that comes together in the final step, generating that live, adaptable roadmap that's going to guide everything you do. And I really want to double-click on that term, living roadmap, because it's so, so important. This is not your grandfather's project plan, the one that gets printed, stuck in a binder, and immediately becomes outdated. No way. This is an intelligence-led guide. It's hooked into real business data, and it's designed to change and evolve right along with you as, conditions change.
So what's the payoff for all this work? What does it all lead to? Well, it leads to a strategy that actually finally delivers, one that's measurable, completely aligned, and genuinely agile.
And the result of all that clarity and alignment is, well, it's a massive improvement in speed. We're talking a 50% kind of difference here. Yep, that's the big headline number. With a structured approach like this, organizations are turning strategy into real action up to 50% faster. And this part is just as crucial. They're doing it with total transparency. Everybody, from the boardroom right down to the delivery teams, can see what's going on. Honestly, the outcomes are game-changing. So instead of a bunch of siloed, disconnected views, you get one single source of truth for the entire enterprise. Instead of leaders pulling in different directions, you get an aligned team, all focused on the right priorities. Your strategy stops being some document and becomes part of your company's DNA. And you stop making decisions based on guesswork and start being truly agile and data-driven. And that, at the end of the day, is the whole point. It's all about taking that big ambition and turning it into real, tangible outcomes. It's about making your strategy a living, breathing part of your business that gives you a real, sustained competitive advantage. So, I'll leave you with this one final thought. Just imagine for a second, what could your organization achieve if your strategy wasn't just a plan collecting dust on a shelf, but was a living, breathing capability? An engine that powers how you adapt, how you innovate, and how you win every single day.